Hey you guys, welcome back to Motorsuncut. A lot of you out there are probably wondering, or a lot of you that have been a long time subscribers, like it used to be Scooter ATV Sales, and I've rebranded the name to Motorsuncut. And the reason why I did that is to align more of my interest, as well as I feel that you guys would enjoy a much broader content. So I will be reviewing and exploring all sorts of different types of vehicles, from anything from an electric scooter, the gas scooters, as you noticed, to the ATVs that we've been doing for years, as well as stepping into the whole motor vehicle, from exotic cars. And you're going to find the content definitely being expanding. As I mentioned, it will align more with my interest, and I'll be able to share a lot more with you guys. Okay, so I have Adam in front of me. We're going to chop it up here a little bit. A lot of you guys are new to the channel. You know, we've been focusing for over 20 years on Chinese vehicles, vehicles from China. I started over 20 years ago. There was just like a dot on little freckles on the map on the whole US when the Chinese vehicles just start arriving on the docks over here in the US and start selling and negotiating, as well as aligning with different Chinese companies. So many of them have come and gone over the years. When I first started off here in the US, I saw a need for inexpensive, decent quality Chinese ATVs and scooters and dune buggies. So I stepped into that market, and I aligned myself and associated myself with all these different companies, as well as importing, as well as aligning with companies that are already here in the US selling their products. So, you guys probably heard of Roketa, Kasuma, Red Cat. These were the original players over 20 years ago. Opened the first store here in Reno, Nevada, and it did super well. Reno was still a little dot on the map, just a little consideration from around the country for people to move to. So it was a good time to start something like that, and it's been like a roller coaster over here in Reno, Nevada. But still doing it. I have Adam here. Adam actually joined us probably just over 8 years ago, and he's learned the business, and he's learned how to service. Working in servicing Chinese and repairing Chinese vehicles, whether it's an ATV, scooter, dune buggy, it's an art. Wouldn't you say that, Adam?
Correct.
So, the whole thing is, you guys, the fit and finish on these Chinese vehicles are not the same as your Polaris, your Honda, your Yamaha, your Suzuki, and so forth. That's why you're paying a lot less for it. So a lot of the audience, or a lot of the consumers out there, think that they're getting the same quality for a much lesser price. By no means you are. What it does is it introduces the activities and certain types of transportation to folks out there that generally did not want to spend or could spend, the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $20,000, $30,000 on vehicles. Well, now you have a knockoff of something that's a major brand. Like a lot of the motors in these vehicles are Honda knockoff motors. Okay, so that's what you're generally getting, and you'll see also Yamaha, and then you'll also see like joint ventures between Yamaha and some of the Chinese companies. The fit and finish is not the same. Everything about these vehicles just don't have the same fitting as, let's say, a Japanese vehicle or the Americans, like the Polaris brand. And there's just nothing fits into the same. They don't have the same tolerances as well. The components are a lot cheaper quality in these vehicles, and they have to do that to make it affordable. So although it may be a knockoff, the components, from your pistons to your seals, to your rings on your pistons, etc. Your valves, the components are not the same. That's why you're only paying, a third of the cost of a major brand vehicle, depending on what you purchase. So that's what you have to realize. And Adam, you learned early on how much the tolerances are so different.
Correct.
Servicing, it's just not the same as well.
Exactly.
So it's, in essence, it's a work of art to service these Chinese, because nothing stays the same on any of these vehicles. And one vehicle may respond one way, and another, same model, same brand, may respond differently with the carburation,
exactly,
the fuel delivery, spark-wise. Adam, he's learned all these years. He knows it like the back of his hand right now. He knows exactly where to go to, whether it's an ATV or it's a scooter. He has a lot of valuable knowledge in the Chinese motorsport business. And he does have his own Facebook page. It's called MCIVERSHOP, right?
Correct.
You guys could go to MCIVERSHOP. And again, Adam, he's a very busy guy. He doesn't have a bunch of free time just to give free information out. He's happy to help you out and give you, some ideas, just like we have a channel, Motorsuncut, formerly Scooter ATV Sales, where we provide a lot of diagnostic information, a lot of how to unbox something and do some assembly. Well, Adam as well, we provide a glimpse, but we can't spend all day with you guys on the phone. We do as much as we can, as goodwill as we call it, to help our audience out there and help people out there. Some people can't afford to take it to their independent shop, or maybe there's no independent shop out there that wants to repair Chinese vehicles. So there's a lot of issues in regard to that. Not all shops do want to service because they don't know how to service, or they just don't want to deal with the nuances that these Chinese vehicles bring. Okay, so the Chinese vehicles have evolved from 20 years ago when I just entered and dropped myself into the business of the Chinese vehicles. And the quality is amazing right now for the price you're paying. And it's evolved, and a lot of these big, large manufacturers, they've actually moved here to the States here. So they have big centers over here, big part centers. And the big players right now, you guys, that are trusted, they've been here for well over 15 years now. So you have Apollo, very good quality for the price you pay. Definitely fits a budget. So Apollo, we have Tao, we have Rival, we have Coolster, and did I forget any others? We have Ice Bear is another good company for some scooters. And there's a few others, you guys, but these are the big players, good parts support overall, and you're gonna have a peace of mind. And that's the whole idea. When you purchase these vehicles, although they're super affordable and you cannot have high expectations, they are super, super affordable. When you bought your first scooter, you bought it from our shop, right? And you knew you weren't buying a Vespa, right? Because
I wanted some cheap, some transportation.
Inexpensive, cheap transportation.
Cheap it was.
Correct. And the scooters, the 49 cc's, you guys, they're the QMB 139 motors. They're copycats, Chinese copycats of the Japanese old school motors, and then you have the GY6 for the 150.
Correct.
So the whole industry has evolved dramatically, and it's really solid right now. There's always room for approval, particularly with part support, but it's overall nothing like it was when I started well over 20 years ago. From importing, and then eventually these large companies came here, created bases. During the 2008 housing crash we had here, so many of them, a lot of the Chinese, the medium-sized companies went out of business, and then you have the bigger players back over here, like I mentioned. So Tao being one of the largest as well right now. Then you got Apollo, Coolster, Ice Bear. These are the big players, good part support. They have warehouses across the country, and you have franchise dealers now all across. When I say brick and mortar, you guys, brick and mortar, you have actually service centers you can go check your state or your local city if you have a Chinese ATV. Just type into Google, Chinese ATV dealer or Tao dealer near me, and you'll see what pops up. Some of you that don't, you may have an independent shop that is willing to service it because there is parts support, right? So these vehicles are designed for those on a budget, and those that can maybe afford, but they don't want to spend. Your kids, your youth, your juniors want to say, hey, Dad, Mom, I want to start riding ATVs, and it's new to them. You don't have to invest thousands of dollars into a major brand. You could start them off with a Apollo brand or a Tao brand. See if they like it. If it's going to sit in the garage and they don't pull your coattails to go out there and, take it out, load it up on the truck or the trailer and take it out there to ride, well, then it tells you that, they're not that interested, and you could easily, as long as you took care of it, sell it for just a very, very small loss, meaning practically get your money back if you're taking good care of it, and you move on. Instead of, let's just say, if you spent $5,000 or $10,000 for a kid's quad and your kid doesn't like it, well, is that fiscally being responsible? Probably not. So you start them off, great start off quads, and or dirt bikes as well. And if your kid does not like the sport, the activity, well, it's going to stay parked. you're not into it for thousands, whether it's a dirt bike, ATV, scooter, you name it. So that is the logical process in how you should actually strategize your purchase. Again, let's go back to like Adam. He has his Facebook page called MCIVERSHOP. And how do you spell MacGyver?
It's MCIVER, and then it's just shop. There's no space in between it.
Okay, so when you guys send him a message, he's happy to answer little small questions. But if you want anything more than that, he's gonna set up a PayPal link, right? As well as a Patreon soon. And you want him to spend time with you on the phone, he'll have a fee for that. And you guys could click the link and you could send him an email and he'll let you know what it's gonna cost, and you can click the link and pay him something for his time to spend with you, because time is money. I'm sure everybody out there, the audience out there, you go to work, you get paid for your time. So we're happy to do some goodwill, suggestions and goodwill tips on what their scooter. That's why we create those videos, right?
Correct.
To help you out a little bit. But we're not going to spend time with you hours on the phone and help you diagnose. If you want to know something about your vehicle, like I said, Adam, he's a pro. I mean, you could just tell him a little bit and he has already an idea because he's been doing this so long, right? Just like when a plumber walks into your house and he'll charge you, let's say, $200, $300, and he was there for only 30 minutes. What you're paying him for is his knowledge, and he knows where to go right away. Because a lot of people will complain, well, gee, you were only here for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30, why am I paying you $300 or $400? Well, you're paying for him for all those years of experience. He knew exactly where to go and what the problem was. And that's the logic, that's the sense that you have to look and approach this. And Adam, he has that knowledge. I have this knowledge as well. But Adam at MCIVERSHOP, if you guys reach out to him, he'll answer small questions. But if you want to dig deep into something, he'll have that link there. You can email him. He'll have that link where you guys could come to a payment amount. And I don't know what he decides to charge hourly or by the half an hour or every quarter, like every 15 minutes or so. That's something he's still putting together. But that's something you can email him and he could decide. You could click that link on PayPal or on Patreon and he'll guide you and help you, call you. You guys could talk one-on-one on the telephone and he could guide you through your issues that you're having with your vehicle, whether it's an ATV, it's a dirt bike, a scooter, go-kart, what have you. So as long as it's Chinese, again, it has to be Chinese brands, the major brands. But you always got to remember, guys, check parts support. Look at the reviews for parts support on any of these companies that you're not familiar with. Parts support is so very important for parts support because you may have the vehicle, but there's no parts, or it's hard to get parts, or you're working with people that have no knowledge on the parts. Even when you call in at the service centers or at the places where these are distributed, they're having difficulties maintaining employees that have knowledge and education behind parts and what the parts are for and used for. So keep that in mind too when you're buying online. It's so important to check what is the parts support from this company, this online store. There's so many online shops that are just strictly offices right now. So you type in, Chinese ATV or buying a kid's 125 and you look, there's all sorts of websites, and those websites are not generally backed up by an actual physical store. It's just an office. They take orders and they drop ship the vehicle. So check the reviews on that online company. Also check the reviews on the parts support from that company. Have they come true with parts, with the warranty? A lot of this stuff comes to you damaged. A lot of the time the trucking company will damage the vehicles that you ordered online. And the whole process starts kicking in. I mean, your enjoyment of that vehicle you purchase online, you might not see it for some time. We've had numerous vehicles over here that customers have purchased a month ago, and they try to deal with the warranty from the online company. They get no callback, or they get incorrect parts. So they've never got to even enjoy the vehicle once it arrived, right? And to boot, right, they have to end up bringing it and spending hundreds of dollars at our shop just to get it going. So keep that in mind, you guys. This will give you guys some more information on what's going on. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. We always appreciate that if you guys like this information. Again, you can go to MCIVERSHOP on Facebook. And you can go on Motorsuncut, you guys. You're going to see a lot of new content on Motorsuncut. Go to Instagram on Motorsuncut, you guys. You'll find that link too below. And I'll place Adam's Facebook link below as well, or you can just type it in on Facebook, MacGyver's Shop. And we still have ScooterATVSales.com. That is a separate online business where we drop ship nationwide. Check MacGyver's Shop on Facebook. You know where to find me over here. And we'll catch you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all the support all these years. And we'll see you guys on the next video.